next month for Shabbat in the round in the Sukkah. Please join us to celebrate. Space is limited, so please RSVP on the temple website soon. On Tuesday, September 28th at 5 p.m. for our in-person community Yizkor service, followed by a 6 p.m. Simchat Torah celebration. Again, space is limited. Please RSVP on our website. On Friday, October 1st, we will be closing out the High Holy Day season with a second Serenity Shabbat. It will be online and in person, but again, we do request an RSVP. Information for all of these programs are on our CNT website, or just call the office and we'll be very happy to help you. We have thank yous this evening to all those people who are up on the bima. And Alex is at the back helping us with sound. We thank you, Glori Rosenberger and Pam Poster, for all our amazing lay leaders for leading services tonight. Della Costa, our shamus, thank you. Guest musicians, John Henderson and Ricky Reinhardt, thank you for being here. And I will give myself my own thank you. I'm Roberta Unger. The very modest Roberta Unger. Thank you very much.
Good Shabbos, everyone. Please join us on page 142 for Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Kadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu Nile Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sechem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon, mi melech malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. I'd like to invite Janet Duda up to light the Shabbat candles. Blessings on page 120.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services. But I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. We turn to page 138 for Lecha Dodi.
Verses 1, 2, and 9.
Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, ya la 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 Likrat Kala, ya la 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 Pnei Shabbat Likab, ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, ya la 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 Likrat Kala, ya la 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 Pnei Shabbat Nikabela.
Shamor וזכור בדיבור אחד, כי השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה.
Ya la la ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, ya la 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 Likrat Kala, ya la 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 Pnei Shabbat Nikabela.
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מחשבה תחילה.
Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, ya la 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 Likrat Kala, ya la 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 Pnei Shabbat Nikabela.
Please rise. בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמונה עם סגולה. בואי חלה,
Ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, ya la 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 Likrat Kala, ya la 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 Pnei Shabbat Nikabel, ya la 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 Lecha Dodi, ya la 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 Likrat Kala, ya la 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 Pnei Shabbat Nikabela. standing as we join together in Baruch on page 146. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand, uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Please turn to page 152 for Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Vaed.
You may be seated. We turn to page 154 for Vahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh Asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha vishinantam levanecha vidibarta ba'am b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlektecha vaderech uvshakbecha uvkumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot bein einecha, uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha, leman tizkeru, va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, vihitem kedoshim leloechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeti ethem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. Standing on the parted shores of history, We still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Please turn to page 158 for Mi Chamocha.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Clap, 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 clap. Mi chamocha neder v'kodesh nora tehilot oseh feleh mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha neder v'kodesh nora tehilot oseh feleh.
Let there be peace and love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Hashkivenu, page 160.
Let there be love and understanding among us.
Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu leshalom. Ve'ha'amidenu shomreinu lechayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us.
Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Vishamru on page 162. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God rested from work and was refreshed.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם berit olam.
Beni Ufein, Bnei Yisrael, Oti le'olam
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש
ושלו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. More than the Jewish people has kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jewish people. We turn to page 164 and rise for tefillah. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu Inteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Hasdei Avot V'Imaot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah, Atagi Bor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol, Atarav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umechayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umido Melach, melech meimit u'mechaye u'matzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol. Baruch ata Adonai mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom v'lachayu la'asela. Baruch ata Adonai ha'el hakadosh. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. You may be seated. We now enter into silent prayer. You may read the words of your Siddur or consider the thoughts of your heart. And when you have completed your prayers, you may be seated. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulchan ne'al lehodot. As we prepare for Misha Berach, we call to mind those people who are on our hearts this week. Bessie De La Malera, Janine Diglio, David Coleman, Ronit Batjak, Nancy Sloan, Linda Eisner, Shelley Solomon, and David Applebaum. If there's anyone else in the congregation tonight who is concerned about someone and wishes to offer a prayer for health and healing, please rise and say your name as my eyes meet yours. Those of you who are watching online, if you would like to type the names of your loved ones into the chat so the members of your virtual congregation can see it. We rise together and turn to page 371 for Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Sheberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
You may be seated. Shabbat Shalom. Most of you probably know that on Sunday mornings, I work with the religious school Madrechim, the teens who assist in the classrooms. Each year, when I meet my new staff members, most of whom are in 8th grade, we spend a few minutes discussing what it means to be a role model. I write the phrase on the board and let the students brainstorm about what the phrase means in the context of religious school. Last fall, to allow for social distancing, we held our meetings in the social hall instead of in a classroom, so I had no whiteboard to write on. Instead, I asked the students to write their ideas on a sheet of paper and turn in their notes after we had finished our group discussion. When I sat down to read through their papers, I had to laugh. A few of the students had written role model, R-O-L-L, instead of role model, R-O-L-E. This error stayed with me, and it became the springboard for my conversation last Sunday with this year's crop of new Madrechim. I wrote 2 phrases on the board: role model, R-O-L-E, and role model, R-O-L-L. They laughed. I asked them to explain the difference. Role model, R-O-L-E, they said, was showing your position through your actions. Role model, R-O-L-L, was showing someone how to make cookie dough, or do a somersault, or grab some paper towels. Then they broke into some small groups to discuss their ideas of being a role model, R-O-L-E, in the CNT religious school. Finally, we gathered back together and went around the circle so each student could share his or her thoughts. They said all the same things that new Madrechim say every year. We need to be responsible, be polite, be enthusiastic, be on time, participate in all activities, stay off the cell phone. And then the last person to speak said, roll with it. We all laughed at her pun, but then addressed the seriousness of her observation. There is a real need for flexibility in the classroom. Lesson plans don't always go as planned, and those of you who are teachers know what I mean. Things happen. The copier is down. There's an unexpected last-minute assembly. The teacher's out sick. The teen assistants can't afford to panic. They must be flexible when the morning doesn't go as planned. And then, with the insight of youth, another student announced, well, that pretty much sums up the past year and a half. Nothing went as planned. Again, we laughed, but quickly realized the truth in his comment. We had all made lots of plans over the past 18 months that didn't go as planned. Bar mitzvahs and weddings were postponed. School and work went virtual. Shopping became Amazon, and dinner out became Grubhub. COVID interferes in our lives, and we have to adapt. We have to roll with it. I used to have a framed copy of The Prayer of Serenity hanging on my wall. I don't know whatever happened to it, but I remember what it said. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. In other words, to roll with it. I can't change the fact that a deadly virus has engulfed the world, but I am wise enough to know that I can change my behavior to improve the situation. I can wear a mask, wash my hands, allow space between myself and others, and get vaccinated. I know these actions won't miraculously end the pandemic, but they enable me to do my little part in the face of a global crisis. As we move through and beyond these high holy days, let us find the courage to do what we can to positively impact our world. And, in the brilliant words of a CNT 8th grader, roll with it. Shabbat Shalom. We now turn to page 586 and rise for Aleinu. 586.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula le'otzer breshit, shelo asanu ki goyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, Va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech kol haaretz bayom hahu Bayom hahu yihei Adonai echad ushemo 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 echad.
Please be seated. At this point in the service, we turn our attention to those who have passed in recent days or whose anniversary of death, Yartzeit, occurs this week. For Kaddish, we recall Zachary Moran, Eni Ben David, David Schlesinger, Chris Green, Theodore Fine, Tidy Risson, Stuart Miller, William Cleek, Manly Caloff, and Judy Mack. Our Yartzeit list includes the memories of Frank Axelrod, Mamie Anderson, Marilyn Arco, Ella Basco, Gordon Brunhild, Aaron Cohen, Manny Cohen, Gladys Ehrlich, Esther Engel, Paul Finkelstein, Philip Fishbein, Laser Gale, Helene Gorbina, Charles Hawk, Doris Louise Hoffman, Thomas Lee Hoffman, Ruth Honigman, Robert Katz, George Kiloff, Rebecca Lander, Dorothy Levitt, Marty Miller, Daniel Miller, Saar Porath, Ruth Poster, Donald Rosen, Tema Rosenberg, Gloria Rothenberg, Lawrence Sasso, Philip Schurman, Getzy Sheehan, Mildred Mickey Wilner, Minnie Wolberg, and Doris Human. If anyone in the congregation is observing York Kaddish or Yartzeit at this time and would like to mention a name for memory, please stand and say their name as I turn to face you. Okay. Anybody who's watching online, again, if you'd like, please feel free to type the name of the person whom you're thinking of this evening in the chat so your virtual congregation can share with you. We turn to page 598 and rise for Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yamad yivrach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chaye hon v'yomei hon v'chayed kol beit Yisrael, b'agalav yizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mavarach le'olam umeya umeya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shmei dekudashah barichu le'olam min kol berchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata damiram b'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yamru amen. Osei shalom b'mramav Huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, amen. Kiddush and Motzi.
Kiddush and
Kiddush
Motzi.
and Motzi.
It's like, what's next?
What's next? You got to look at the list. Kiddush and Motzi. Blessings are on
As we
page,
travel.
you may be seated. Kiddush and Motzi blessings are on page 123. Anybody at home, feel free to go pour yourself another glass of wine. Yeah, I said another. I would be. Grab a piece of bread or a cookie or cake, whatever you're having this evening, and we're going to go ahead and enjoy.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen.
L'chaim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Go for it. You can have the whole loaf if you want. You want to bring some down to our guests? Okay. And Glory, do we have a final song?
We do. Oseh shalom. Oseh shalom bimramav. Huyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Ve'yimeru, amen. Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening.